What up, guys? So today we're gonna continue on with a review. Specifically, we're gonna go on with the Shear Revival. So they recently went through a reformulation, adding on one new product and re-releasing one of their main products, which is Crystal Lake. We haven't received that one yet, so we won't review it yet. But today we'll be looking at Music or Misery, which is their oil-based heavy hold pomade. So in addition to the new American Garden styling clay, which we looked at last week, we noticed that they have a new reformulation of all their oil-based products, and that main change is changing from petroleum to hydrogenated castor oil. And we've seen this, not necessarily a change, but we've seen this kind of trend within the home brewing community, which we kind of find that they're using hydrogenated castor oil instead of petroleum. And for the most part, I've actually kind of supported that. I mean, it looks and it feels nicer. The product looks more consistent. The product has like a nicer feel to it, whereas petroleum just has like a really greasy, dirty feel to it. Whereas hydrogenated castor oil is typically cleaner. I mean, it's not 100%. It's not going to be the same for every single product, but this is just a general kind of approximation. But either way, I mean, my haircut for today got rescheduled, and so I was planning to look at some of the other products. However, with the rescheduling, my hair is this way, and probably the best fit for it right now would be this heavy hold pomade. So go ahead and start out the review by looking at the jar. This is Shear Revival Music of Misery Heavy Hold Pomade. So we see the same image on the front, but the thing is they switch over to a matte vinyl label, which looks way better than the paper one before. You see directions on one side, then you have ingredients on the other side. Still 4-ounce amber colored jar, glass jar this time, so they moved away from the plastic jars. Real nice weight to it, metal lid, and when you open it up, you see the product inside, which still has a similar consistency to many other hydrogenated castor oils products we've seen. But the big thing is to know the difference between this one and the original Music of Misery, which was a green color, had like a strange sheen to it, and then the petroleum you can actually really tell that it's inside. But now we start seeing this like nice smooth consistency, and the smooth consistency not only is visual but also in texture as well. So go ahead and start using the product. As you guys can tell by my voice, went a little too ham at the Paradox holiday party, and so I kind of got like a slightly stuffy nose. My voice is kind of still acting up, and I can't really smell too well. But I mean, I do get like an herbal spice hint from it. Definitely pushing more towards the fresh side, but right now I just can't pinpoint the smell. But overall, I know there are a huge amount of people who actually really like the original smell of the One Who Knocks, Elm Street, and Music of Misery from the original Shear Revival line. But in all honesty, I am a huge fan of this new set of scents. I consider it way better than those before. So just depends on your own taste. So I was messing with this product earlier this week, and surprisingly enough, the issue is with many of the other home brewers that use hydrogenated castor oil, their heavies aren't really super heavy. I mean, whether or not they agree with the idea, when they do market a heavy product, it should be heavy. But this one is actually pretty fucking damn heavy. I had to kind of mess with it, and that's why I'm able to scoop it out now. But if you're kind of messing with it for the first time, you will notice how thick of a consistency it actually is. And that's the beauty, because the original Music or Misery product was also super waxy, and he's really kept to it. This is in comparison to, say, we'll use for example Old Dude's Heavy Hold Pomade. If you guys watch that review, you'll be able to see that it's a heavy product, but at the same time, it's still super greasy. It still breaks down into a kind of butteriness. And the thing is, when you use a heavy hold product, you want a lot of hold out of it, and hold isn't necessarily the same thing as weight. But of course, now we've made that distinction between the weight and the hold, and we see that this is labeled as a heavy hold pomade, and this is wholly accurate. because in all honesty, it doesn't feel heavyweight at all. And I'm actually expecting a pretty amazing pump out of this because it's super waxy right now, but it's not a waxy that we've seen with some of the other like petroleum-free beeswax-based like products, which get a little too sticky. Doing it like this, you kind of take that away, which gives a dryness, which is the same reason why some of the really heavy clay products can provide so much volume. They're dry, they provide a lot of hold, and you can really optimize things with it. And so it applies relatively like kind of, I don't want to say easily, it's not easy at all. I mean, it's satisfactory. If you run your hands through, you're going to feel the grip, and like there is a little bit of tug, which you definitely like will notice. But at the same time, you're using a heavy hold. That's something that like you're just gonna have to bear with for the most part. Some of the other super greasy products that are actually like heavy hold and heavy weight, then you can get by with that because then there's still that slickness, which is kind of like a lubricant for your fingers as you run your hands through your hair. And so this might make it a little difficult to kind of make sure the product's applied everywhere. Because right now I really want to make sure that there's a good amount of product near down the foundation where I'm going to be forming my pomp. Yeah, I definitely feel the tug right there. In all honesty, if you wanted to make a heavyweight like oil-based clay, this would be the base to use. Man, just add clay to this sucker and you can style almost anything. Yeah, right now I'm actually really surprised about like just the waxiness, and then I'm actually really optimistic about it. Alright, but with that applied, go ahead and start slicking things back. You can definitely feel the tug of the comb and the tug of the product as you kind of work it through, but it's not unbearable. The first like few strokes are going to be definitely tough, but it's fine from there. Alright, so let's go ahead and start forming the pomp and see what we can make. And this might be the best heavy oil base I've ever used. It's been a long time since I've been able to style this quickly and easily with a product. And the nice thing is that it's oil based, but it doesn't feel like an oil base in any way at all. Yeah. And so essentially like getting really good hold out of this product, and the control is absolutely fantastic because it's like dry and it's just a nice wax. You put it where you want it and it doesn't really fight back as much. So it's basically a few notches above what I consider the threshold to be like an average balance between kind of control, or rather between like hold and just like a naturalness to the hair, as I mentioned before. And it's definitely on like pushing more towards like providing you more hold than you actually need, or than I actually need. And like the slickness is not slick in terms of like kind of what we normally perceive like a greasy product to be, but it's slick in that it keeps everything together, which is nice. And the shine, there is no shine. Like honestly, it's basically a neutral product. And so what we see is like a really thick, waxy product, still with like a difficult application that's still like doable. It's difficult, you're gonna feel the tug, but you're not really gonna rip any hairs out. It's not like Murray Superior. Shine, neutral. Slickness, it's not like slick in the greasy sense, but it's slick in that it keeps everything together. The hold is absolutely phenomenal. It's dry, waxy, and so you're gonna get some serious volume. This is like definitely more than I've gotten for the past few days. And especially with I'm due for a haircut, and so this actually does a phenomenal job. And overall, so control is actually really good. Provides you like a lot of control. Doesn't allow your hair to fight back too much at all. But yeah, so I mean, just out of like curiosity, I mean, it's so easy to work with. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, but I'm actually gonna play with my hair some more just to see what it can do, because this is actually really interesting. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours. We'll come back later in the day and talk about how well this pomade survived once you kind of walked out the door and actually started doing stuff. So, take care. What up, guys? Back now. Harrison's playing Fallout 4, and I mean, I decided to also have him review this pomade in parallel. So we'll also see how well it works for him. More specifically, interested in how well it works for his hair. But so this is my hair now at the end of the day. Taking into account that it rained today, and yes, we lost like significant amount of volume, but like the product is still like kind of definitely present. It's not gone. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because in the past with the other shear revival products, what a lot of people judge it for is that it's lightweight, it kind of disappears after some time. But with this product, like the presence is still strong, I can still restyle it. It's dry, so I can actually hand comb it into something pretty damn nice, like that. But like this is also taking into account with zero buildup. Like this product, like once you actually wash it out, you get a nice like really clean dry wax buildup. Or if you really want to get it out, you can actually like kind of work a little harder during the shampoo process to really try to remove as much as possible. But the buildup is real clean, and so what that means is when you style the next day, you just kind of are working with extra strength, extra control, and that's nice because what I've noticed a lot with these really waxy heavyweight pomades is that the first day of styling with me without buildup, it's strong. I get a lot of volume, but it's a little empty. And then with the days following, my hair gets like even more volume, even more sturdy, and just gets ridiculously strong. And so, yeah, I mean, endurance was good. Not perfect without buildup, but with buildup, it gets pretty damn close to perfect. Restylability, it's good. It's dry, hands or for comb. Either way it works. It's oil based, so obviously it doesn't dry. Greasiness is absolutely zero. Like this pomade, if I didn't tell you, wouldn't even know it was oil based. Like you don't feel any greasiness at all, and this is amazing. In all honesty, this is my favorite heavyweight like oil based pomade. Period. Because it doesn't even feel like an oil based pomade. So you get the benefits of oil based pomade, something that's workable, something that's nice, something that's predictable, but it's not greasy at all, and it's just clean. This is not something I've seen out of any other like heavyweight oil-based pomade, because they're also, I mean, heavy hold pomade because they're also heavyweight. This one is literally medium lightweight, heavy hold, and honestly, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't recommend it to you guys earlier because I know some of you guys just bought the American Gardens and Crystal Lake only when Shear released. But if I had tried this before, I would recommend like this. Even probably above like the other ones. Like this is a pretty damn good product. And we'll review the next ones in the near future, and we'll see how those prove to be. But this new reformulation of Music Misery is pretty fucking amazing. And so honestly, obviously receives my seal of approval. Promo code still works on it. The Pomp, all caps. Save some money if you're interested in it. And I mean, this is me talking with fine hair. We'll see for hair. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine, but for Harrison, we'll see whether it works for his like thick hair or not as well. So definitely check out his review, and then we'll get a kind of cohesive opinion on it. But other than that, great pomade. I mean, I feel it's the best heavy hold pomade out there right now, oil based, and so super clean, super strong. I would highly recommend it. Other than that, take care, guys. We'll look at the other new Shear Revival products in the near future. Have a good weekend.